Hey you avant-garde snow freaks! I'll now be ranking the studio albums of underlooked Norwegian prog metal geniuses Leprous. Enjoy! Number 8 is Pitfalls. Now let me be clear, this isn't a bad album. In fact, these guys have never made a bad album, but it is my least favorite. Overall, this is their most experimental album, with only very sparse rock or metal moments. Heavily influenced by art rock and trip hop, it sees the band focus on more of an atmospheric sound. What they set to achieve was successfully obtained, but it is more of a specific vibe sort of album, and when it comes to vibes, Leprous' strengths lie in their ability to explore a full spectrum of vibes. Number 7 is Bilateral. With a very impressive debut, this album was very much a continuation of that sound, showing off their heavy, almost jaunty moments with avant-garde arrangements, clearly showing that being IHSAN's backing band really paved a great path for them. While I do prefer the debut, this has some classic moments on it, that when played live really show off the amazing talent of this band. Number 6 is Melodies of Atonement. The band's most recent album, it sees them verve more back towards their heavier sound while not losing their electronic-influenced style of art rock. As always, the musicianship is very unique and great, but I do think the album they released before this was able to merge these two styles better. Number 5 is Tall Poppy Syndrome. The band's debut album, it really kicks open the door for them. Mixing the atmosphere and atonality of Opeth with the dynamics of the Mars Volta, it very much is an album where anything can, and usually anything does happen. Ina Solberg's vocals and key work on the album are fantastic, showing great range, sound and passion. It reminds me of Pain of Salvation's Entropia, a debut that takes no prisoners and leaves a very strong impact. Number 4 is Aphelion. After experimenting on the previous album with atmosphere, this sees them do the same but adding in darker moments and a very high focus on making the music as dramatic as possible. Each song almost takes the form of a cinematic score, with Ina being front and center, acting out each song with Oscar-worthy flair. One of their most underlooked albums, it showcases their amazing ability to really captivate the listener. Number 3 is Cole. This is the album that saw the band really hone in on the songwriting, showing that there can be melody and catchiness in their hooks. But there also is a more heightened sense of atmosphere at hand, with the rhythms created being rather mechanic sounding, showcasing a very unique sound within the prog metal scene at the time. While they would perfect this on the follow-up, this album is no slouch. Number 2 is Melina. After the band's success with The Congregation, it saw them go further into their melodic sensibilities, experimenting with a more alternative rock sound that blends in with their unique take on rhythmic art rock. While the metal has been toned down, the band is still using 7 and 8 string guitars, with the low end creating an almost earthquake feel at moments, creating a very unique foreboding atmosphere. A perfect marriage between experimentation and being contemporary within the prog rock and metal world. In my opinion, the best album by Leprous is The Congregation. Very much the midpoint of the creative career, it sees them right in the Goldilocks zone of their sound, merging together great hooks, fantastic musicianship, fantastic emotional vocal performances, guitar playing that sees bands in gent scene blush at the polyrhythms produced and drumming that takes on a complete character of its own, with the introduction of Bard Kolstad, one of the most underlooked talents within the modern prog and metal scene. The album flows like a greatest hits album, with all atmospheres present. I saw these guys support Devon Townsend Band for the touring of this album and then got to meet Ina and tour from the band. That night it was me and a friend watching them in utter awe, as the other people were confused but were mining the merch stand afterwards for their stuff. If you haven't seen this band live, please do, because when one of these tracks hits, it's a powerhouse on stage. Or get their live DVDs, they're all great. Thanks for watching. Recommend me another band to do this with. Or else. Usually I have something to say here, but Bard is so sexy, and he drums with his shirt off most of the time. Who says prog metal can't be sexy?